Ritz-Carlton Hong Kong is home to quite a few world records. At 118 floors, it's one of the tallest luxury hotels on the planet and definitely the tallest building here in Hong Kong. It has a total of 3 Michelin stars inside, a Forbes 5-star spa, and some places that you just have to see to believe. So of course, I had to do a full review and another tower climb. I travel around the world and review luxury hotels out of 50 points in 5 categories. The categories, like always, are the ambiance, the room, the dining, the service, and the it factor. I'm not associated or sponsored by the Ritz-Carlton in any way. This is just a review from a guest staying here for the very first time. Now, the hotel is all the way at the very top of the tower from floors 102 to 118. So this time, let's start at the top floor. This elevator ride is 60 seconds all the way to the top, and your ears will definitely be popping. I also forgot to mention everything underneath 102 is just a mall and a movie theater. It's not part of the hotel. All right, let's keep moving. Let's start our tower climb here on the 118th floor, all the way at the top. So this is the world's tallest indoor swimming pool here at the Ritz-Carlton. They also have an indoor jacuzzi, outdoor jacuzzi, and a cold plunge, which unfortunately is currently under maintenance. But look at this incredible space. You can overlook the entire city of Hong Kong here. This is the tallest building in the city, and it does literally feel like you are swimming in the clouds. It's generally just a very calm location. It's not too popular. Also on the 118th floor is the gym. Now, it's not the most spacious, but it does have a heck of a view. Now, there is a balcony out there that obstructs it a little bit, so you can't really see. You have to look through 2 layers of glass here, but it's still up in the sky when you're exercising. All of the equipment is new. It's techno gym, so it's very modern in here. And there's something cool here called the elevated meditation room, where you can go and meditate up here in the sky. Couple floors down now on 116, this is the spa. And they have a few different treatments here I want to talk about, like cryotherapy, a lava shell scrub treatment. A lot of their facials are in partnership with La Mer, which is a very high-end skincare brand. And they also have a diamond facial that's supposed to lift your face without, of course, getting an actual facelift. Very modern and very dimly lit, and generally I'm impressed with the way they designed it. Let's keep it moving. We're now in the Ritz-Carlton Lounge. So this is only accessible for those who have booked a suite here at the hotel, or if you pay a 1,500 Hong Kong dollars supplement every day. There's a little buffet, some sweeping views of the city, but really not much else here. It kind of reminds me of a first-class lounge at an airport, but it's just a little bit boring compared to the rest of the hotel. Now, they did let us know that the room is ready, but before we go up there, let's talk about the ground floor just for a moment. So over here, they have a flower boutique, which is really beautiful, but otherwise it's pretty corporate and sterile down here, which is the case in most tower hotels. There's a small seating area, but important to note, as soon as you walk into the Ritz-Carlton, they do enforce the dress code pretty severely. So for men and women, I would call it business casual at a minimum, and they definitely don't allow pets. Up on the 103rd floor is the main lobby. So this is where you check in, talk to concierge, and get directions around this kind of confusing tower. It's also the central hub for all of the most important places in this hotel, so you can take escalators and elevators anywhere you need to go. So the base rooms here at the Ritz-Carlton start at $550 US per night as of this recording. But before I show you that, let's go down and give it an ambiance score. That's far from everything in this incredibly tall tower, but those are all of the public spaces and amenities available to guests. Having spent some time here, it really does feel similar to other tower videos on the channel like the Signal, where it's a little bit more cold and a little bit more minimal. It's missing some of those touches that come with other luxury hotels that give it a sense of place or really a sense of connection with its guests. So I gave the ambiance a 7.5 out of 10. There are 312 rooms here, all from floors 104 to 115. Welcome to floor 113. So this is a base level room with views of the South China Sea. My first take on walking in the room is I'm not super impressed. For example, the wallpapering here is kind of peeling off and just looks a little bit low quality, like it was just kind of placed on there. It's also not very clean. So look at that. That's just from running my hand on the wall for just a moment here, which is definitely not very good. So they should do a better job of cleaning the walls in here. Pretty bad. Look at all that. Generally speaking, it is a nice room. It's quite small and something looks a little strange with the bed, like it's a little bit lopsided or maybe needs to be pressed a little bit more. I know I'm sounding really critical walking into the room, but for Hong Kong at this price point, there are other very competitive hotels, many of which I've reviewed on this channel, that this just doesn't really hold up. However, you do have that view. So look, I know we've talked about the views quite a lot in this review so far, but you have an equally impressive, incredible view from the room. They do say the Ritz-Carlton Hong Kong has the best view of the harbor and the city, and I do think that's true. The sun sets right across from the building. It really is beautiful. Let's go into the bathroom and test the shower. Now for the bathroom, which is actually quite nice for this room. In fact, it feels like it's almost the same size as the actual room that you're staying in. It's a dual vanity here with a single mirror, really nicely designed, good high quality materials in here. You've got a rain shower with a very large rain head, we're gonna test that in a moment, and a separate toilet area. However, that also needs a pretty thorough cleaning. This just represents how, unfortunately, dirty this hotel room really is. So much dust and debris on this metal part here. You cannot even see yourself in the mirror. Look at that. Truly disgusting. I feel like I need to wash my hands. So the shower test is 3 criteria points. That is the size, the ease of use, and the pressure. Let's start with the size. It's a pretty spacious rain shower with a tiny little seat here that you could sit on. Generally, it's bigger than what you'd find in most base level standard luxury hotel rooms. So the size is a plus. Now, ease of use is also a plus. If you look at the handles here, they're very easy to understand which is which. The handheld sprayer and the rain shower. Hot and cold are very clearly marked and very distinct, and they're easy to turn on. Now let's test the pressure. The pressure is soft but consistent. The one negative is there definitely is some spraying going on here, so it looks like maybe something might be not fully tightened. Overall, pass the shower test. Over here, there's a full bathtub with a loofah, bath salts, a television ready to play your favorite movies, a pillow for your head. It's one of the most inviting. I turned it off a good amount of time ago and it is still dripping. They should definitely come in and tighten that. Back in the main room now, there are a few more things to show you, including the mini bar here, which one positive for the room, it does have a lot of water, and that's definitely something I look for. A small Nespresso machine over here, a tea kettle, and some Hong Kong branded amenities, which I do appreciate. Now, they aren't included, of course, the pricing is reasonable, but you open up the drawer, we've got westernized, international, or American potato chips, and a keto protein bar. It also looks like there used to be more in here and it got taken out. So this is pretty sparse. In the mini bar, nothing really too impressive or interesting, just a couple of different juices and some standard sodas. A little disappointed in all of that. They did give us a complimentary amenity here. Let's give this one a try. These are individually wrapped walnut cookies. Definitely far from the best welcome amenity and not the freshest, but I could be wrong. Definitely far from the best welcome amenity and not the freshest. Could be wrong. Could be wrong. Very dry and not a good flavor at all. You would think for the price point per night, they could have a different kind of welcome amenity for you, especially because I booked through my Marriott Rewards program, and they know that I've stayed at many Marriotts around the world, and still there was nothing to signify that in the room. But that really is the whole room here at the Ritz-Carlton. I don't know how the score is going to turn out. Before we continue with our tower climb here, the holiday season can be so difficult to find the perfect gift for your loved ones, or especially for those who are always traveling and never home. That's why I'm proud to partner with Away. Away is an innovative travel lifestyle brand that is changing the way people travel everywhere. Not only is it aesthetically pleasing and well designed, it's also very efficient and easy to use and durable, which is very important for these kind of trips. This holiday season, I'm gifting Away luggage to my videographers on this channel as a thank you for an incredible year of travel and hard work. We also have a lot of trips coming up next year, so the durability of Away is definitely going to be very important. Away is also having their largest sale of the year right now. So if you scan the QR code here on the screen, you can get incredible deals on some of the top, most popular Away products. They've served millions of customers over the years since 2016. It is the perfect gift to give to someone who travels a lot or is hoping to travel a lot in the coming year. I can't wait to see how my team reacts to the gift. Be sure to check back on YouTube Shorts to see that moment. And for now, let's get back to the review. I'm going to sleep in this bed now, but before I do, I want to call the front desk and order room service breakfast for a certain time tomorrow morning. A little later in this review, we're going to see if the food showed up on time, if it was hot, if it was fresh. I always order the same thing, so let's call the front desk. Yes, hello. Could I order room service breakfast tomorrow, please?
Yes.
Could I order a black coffee and an Eggs Benedict?
May I know what time set to your room?
Can we do it for 7 a.m.?
At 7 a.m. tomorrow morning. Welcome.
Bye now.
Bye.
Let's get some sleep. Good morning. So this bed was okay. It's not gonna add much to the room score, won't take much away from it. Overall, it's kind of how I've been feeling generally about this room. It's just nothing to write home about. But let's give it an official room score now and then go see the rest of the hotel. So I've seen many more impressive hotel rooms, even here in Hong Kong, that the Ritz-Carlton just unfortunately does not compete with. The biggest standout to me, how dirty the room was. The wall and a lot of the spaces around the room just need a thorough cleaning. The shower test was of course passed. The bed is comfortable and soft, but neither of those were markedly amazingly impressive. Considering everything in here, it was pretty average for a luxury hotel stay. Now don't get me wrong, it's definitely comfortable and it has everything that you could need. There's just really nothing exceptional about it. I gave the Ritz-Carlton Hong Kong room a 6 out of 10. There are some world-class restaurants here, many of which have Michelin stars. So let's get down there and give them a try. There are 4 restaurants and 1 bar here, ranging from Italian to Cantonese to international. 2 of them are buffets, 2 of them have Michelin stars, and all of them have incredible ambiance and decor. So for breakfast here, this is the lounge and bar. It is also on the 102nd floor alongside a few of the other restaurants that we'll see in just a second. This is a full buffet that they have all day, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and they have some really interesting things here that I want to show you. So one of the staff here has seen the channel and knows how much I love croissants, so they brought out this massive croissant to the table. Now they make these croissants every week for the buffet and put them out, so it's not just for me. And I don't think they want me to eat it. The level of care that goes into making one of these every single week and having it look this good is incredible. They also have Ritz-Carlton branded waffles here. What a very interesting touch. This is not that hard to do, but it's very rare to find something like this at a buffet at a luxury restaurant. For the brunch here, all of the flavors have been really great. The plating is lovely. You can really never run out of options. This is Tosca d'Angelo, a 1 Michelin starred Southern Italian restaurant here at the Ritz-Carlton. Chef Angelo is the chef that put the menu together based on growing up in Italy, and he was inspired by legendary chefs like Joel Robuchon. The menu tonight is a tasting menu, an a la carte menu, and they have a truffle special, so I asked for the most popular thing and the dessert to give it a try. So the amuse-bouche here, which usually prefaces the menu in a tasting course, is a cauliflower cloud with caviar on top, and there's some homemade sourdough bread, which looks incredible. They came out with 4 different types of olive oil and hand-selected the ones that we feel would be best with the dishes that I selected. Really impressive first start to this menu. There's a lobster jelly underneath the cauliflower cloud, and the caviar is a really nice touch there as well. With any starter dish, it should always be light to prepare your palate for all of the heavier dishes to come, especially at an Italian restaurant. One of the most interesting things about Tosca is the open kitchen. So you can watch all of the dishes being prepared and plated before they go out for the night. So the main course just arrived. This is a prawn pasta dish, and they've taken 2 prawns and arranged them into a heart and filled it with the pasta here. They make all of their pastas in-house, of course. Whoa, that is a wonderful pasta dish. So you definitely want to have every last bite here, not only because it's extraordinarily good, but also because each plate averages around 80 to 150 US dollars per plate. Now, the city of Hong Kong is expensive. It's one of the most expensive in the world. Dining is still not usually this expensive, so something to consider. Given how great that dinner was, I cannot wait to try the dessert here. They gave us a olive oil sorbet with fresh olive oil over the top. Very appetizing. I can already tell it's going to be citrusy and fresh and really bright. Digging in. The sorbet is so delicate and beautiful. I will say they added some grapefruit over the top of it, and I think the grapefruit bitterness kind of detracts from the dish. It stands alone by itself as a sorbet with the dried fruits on the side. Whoa. Any other macaron fans out there? I'm a big macaron fan. So the general manager just came out. He let us know that they are trying for their 2nd Michelin star. And that's a big jump to go from 1 star to 2 star. I've been very fortunate to review a lot of 1 Michelin star restaurants on this channel. This is one of the best, hands down. Can't wait for the 2nd dinner option here at the Ritz-Carlton Hong Kong. I'm here in the legendary Tin Long Kin, which means Chinese restaurant in the clouds. It is an iconic Chinese restaurant and also the tallest in the world currently. They have 2 Michelin stars that they've had for 13 years, and they got 1 Michelin star right out of the gate in their first year of business. They serve traditional Cantonese cuisine like dim sum and bird's nest. So I ordered 2 of the most interesting things on the menu that the chef recommended. I also got their tea setup. So tea is very important here in Hong Kong. They have very premium high-end tea selections. This is the Jade Cloud Green Tea, and it is served alongside the dinner experience. So I couldn't be more excited. So they brought out some cashews and some XO sauce, which we learned in the Peninsula review was actually brought to Hong Kong by that hotel. I'm a few sips into the tea now, and wow, this is hands down the best tea I've had in Hong Kong, which is saying something because almost every restaurant since I've been here has served really excellent tea. This one is just exceptional. The dim sum have arrived. For those who maybe haven't had dim sum before, it's like a small dumpling, and inside of it is different ingredients. So this is a more traditional dim sum. There's 2 different ones here. The first one is shrimp and lobster. I do like it. I think it's missing something. It's hard to explain. The flavor is not very strong. Maybe it's meant to be dipped. Let's try the second one. So this dim sum, of course, would be considered a luxury or elevated version. You can see there's a lot inside of it. Those watching from the United States who maybe never been to Hong Kong or China, Chinese food is very different in the United States. It's a totally different kind of Chinese cuisine. So this is bird's nest. It is a very rare high-end delicacy here in Hong Kong and also in China. How they gather the bird's nest is they literally climb up to the nest of a certain type of bird who makes their nest out of saliva. It's then harvested from these high up peaks brought down, soaked, and becomes this gelatinous jello type texture, and they put it into soup. So it's a very arduous, very time-intensive process that has to be done by hand, which is why it's so premium and so expensive. So I kind of figured that the bird's nest, the saliva, would have a gelatinous but flavorless kind of taste. And that's very much true. So this is actually a lobster soup that they use bird's nest in. It's really the only taste and flavor profile here is lobster, but the texture is like jello. So the chef just brought out their shrimp toast, which is something they are very known for. And let me tell you, it smells insane. So good. Whoa. Whoa. That is the best thing I've had here, hands down. Really, really great. Sweet and sour, mixed with the crunch and the umami flavor of the prawn, the buttery toast. That is something I would come back for. It's so apparent why this restaurant has had 2 Michelin stars for 13 years straight. The chef here is very skilled. Presentation, beautiful, flavors, immaculate. A lot of local ingredients. All the prawns are caught locally, for example. Did local traditions, popular items in Hong Kong, but elevated literally in the tower, but also elevated to Michelin level. And there's a dish that I've been wanting to try ever since I touched down in Hong Kong, which is the Hong Kong egg tart. But they also brought out some small bites for after dessert. So this is very common at Michelin restaurants. It's called Petit Four, or sometimes a little gift that they give you. They have it in the Hong Kong Star Ferry, some mochi and some cookies. But before we get into that, I have to show you this. It's a small pastry here that has a cream filling in the center. And they're said, I cannot leave this city without trying it. That has the flavor and consistency of a shortbread cookie, but it's warm and flaky. That's a great end to an excellent dinner. This dinner is truly a symphony. I've tried many things I've never tried before. Just a great experience, something I'll remember for a long time. But next, and the final stop in our dining segment, is a world-famous bar. Let's try the signature drink and show you some of the views. Now on the 118th floor of the Ritz-Carlton, so the very, very top, is the Bar Ozone. So this is an extremely different, unique, future-focused bar concept where they combine the traditional cocktails of the past with the mixology of the future. That's represented here in the menu that's interactive and with how the menu is written. Let me read just a little excerpt from it for you, and you can get a sense of what this bar is like. Nexus. Each cocktail serves as a conduit, spanning temporal rifts and thematic divides. Here, the tendrils of the past intertwine with the vibrant zest of the tropics, while dystopian shadows meld with flashes of future tropicale. It's crafting a taste of worlds both lost and yet to be discovered. So if that doesn't get you excited to try a drink here, I don't know what would. One more cool thing about Ozone, it is actually the highest bar in the world. Yes, it is the tallest bar in the entire world and has won so many awards, including the best bar in Hong Kong. So they have quite the menu here at Ozone, including these very large olives and a specialty cocktail called the Secret Garden, which is $50 US. The overall atmosphere of this place is just one of a kind. So that was Ozone and the final stop in the dining segment of this review. But you tell me, is it a creative reinvention of a bar or is it a lot of hype and buzzwords? Either way, let's give this hotel a dining score. From Tin Lun Hing to Tosca, these were some of the best restaurants I've reviewed on this channel. It makes sense. They have multiple Michelin stars here, and there's options for those that don't want the fine dining route to eat at the buffet. Now, I think their buffets were definitely not as strong as their sit-down dinner options. I gave the dining at the Ritz-Carlton an 8.5 out of 10. Now, it wouldn't be a Ritz-Carlton without the incredible service and their ladies and gentlemen program. Can't wait to see how they do in the service segment. It is 6:57. The food arrived 3 minutes early here, which is great. Always better early than on time or late. The Eggs Benedict is a very full plate. So I've had a lot of different Eggs Benedict at a lot of different hotels. This is probably the most full plate and heavy plate of Eggs Benedict. We've got our coffee here, Smells amazing. Hot, but not too hot. Really great. Let's cut some eggs. Let's see how runny the yolks are. There's some truffle on top. Nice. So they definitely passed the breakfast test, but we won't know for sure until we give it an official service test. So the service test is the part of the review where I call the front desk and ask for something that they're not used to hearing. Now, it's not about if they can actually do it, it's more about how they respond and if they at least attempt to do it. In the past, I've asked for staff to all sign a soccer ball in Barcelona or to make a camera out of chocolate. Here in Hong Kong, they celebrate the Chinese Lantern Festival. It's a huge festival that happens once per year, and I want to see if they can build something like that for me in the room. Hello, can you hear me?
Hello, yes.
Okay, perfect. I have kind of a strange request for you. The Chinese Lantern Festival, you know, that happens here in Hong Kong. Oh, hold on. Someone's calling my other line. 1 second.
Good evening, Ms. Walker. This is Leo from Hotel Line. As we have received a missed call from your room, may I know how could I help?
Oh, no. So I'm on the other line with them right now.
Oh, understood.
Thank you. I know. All right, that didn't quite work. We're going to try again.
Good evening. How may I see Ms. Walker?
Hi there. I was on the line with someone else from the concierge.
Understood, and I will put you through to them again.
Okay.
I'm sorry that as they are currently engaged at the moment, would you mind I'll have time to get back to you shortly?
Okay, no problem. I'll be here.
Get back.
Okay. Kind of a strange series of interactions.
Good evening, Ms. Walker. This is Leo from Hotel Line. Is there anything else we can help?
Sure. Would you like me to explain it to you as well?
Please allow me to put you through to our concierge team again.
Okay. All right, so now I've been through 2 different individuals that have moved me to different teams, and I'm currently waiting on hold to speak to the person that I originally called that you saw. So,
Thank you, Ms. Walker. I'm sorry that they are currently engaged at the moment.
if you could have the concierge call me back, that would be wonderful.
Understood. I'll have time to get back to you shortly.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Bye-bye. That was a pretty Hello, Sir Ryan.
Sorry, Mr. Walker, we have a call just now. Yes, how may I assist you with the Chinese lantern?
Yes, thank you. I wanted to surprise a friend of mine with a Chinese lantern kind of display in the room. I was wondering if there was any way you had the ability to set up maybe a miniature Chinese lantern or something like that. That would be fun.
Yes, so you would like us to just buy it for you and then display in the room, right?
I trust you. You know, whatever you think would look good in the room.
Because we still need the time to find the paper lantern, of course. So let me just quickly check with my team and then we will find a way to do it. It's okay.
Thank you so much. Bye now. It does sound like they might be able to accommodate it, or at least they're going to try. So maybe we'll get a chance to have some lanterns in the room. Now let's talk about the service generally around the hotel. All of the staff here address you by your last name, escort you anywhere you need to go at any time, and overall are very attentive. In the restaurant, the service is the same. It's very high-end, very hands-on, but a little bit slow. I think they're just giving you some time to see the views and to soak in the atmosphere. There isn't really a text-based system, or maybe there is, they just haven't been using it with me. I haven't noticed much else in the way of additional services or things that sometimes we've seen at other hotels. Overall, I've been pleased with how the staff have been treating us during the stay and cannot wait to see how they respond to that service test. Very, very nice. On a quick, fast turnaround for a short notice, this is really a great effort. So it looks like they put out some champagne. We have this little lion plushie, and of course, the welcome sign. For me, this definitely passes the service test. They really wanted to make sure we felt welcome here in Hong Kong, even if it was misspelled. Let's give this hotel an official service score. Technically, this hotel hit all of the service marks for a luxury hotel, from the service test being passed to the breakfast showing up on time. The staff have been attentive, supportive, the front door staff are great, but nothing really left a lasting impression for me. At other luxury hotels, I've built personal relationships with the staff. You know them by name and they know yours. That wasn't really the case here at the Ritz-Carlton. It's a little bit more formal and corporate. With all of that in consideration, I gave the service a 7.5 out of 10. Down in the Valet, the Ritz-Carlton has similar house cars to that of the Peninsula in Hong Kong. The only difference is These ones aren't green. Now these can pick you up and take you anywhere you want to go in the city for $293 per hour. And the valet is included in your stay. Now I want to talk a bit about the value of that stay. So the price point of this hotel is on par with other luxury hotels in the area, and you do have access to some incredible spaces. However, all of the dining options, the house car options, all have a little bit of a premium because it is the Ritz-Carlton and because of the size and positioning of this building. But generally speaking, I do think it's worth it, if not just to stay in one of the tallest hotels in the world. And now we're starting to get into the it factor. So the it factor is the value, the location, and the indescribables of a hotel. So here at the Ritz-Carlton, the location is really prime. Almost every single window in this building has an incredible view of Hong Kong. So what better way to give this a final it factor score than to go one more time all the way to the top. The views from this tower, the incredible height that we're at, it is just jaw-dropping. Now, I've reviewed other hotels like the Signal in South Korea that also are very high. However, this used to be the highest hotel in the world, and it sets a lot of records for the highest indoor pool, the highest indoor bar, for example. So there are quite a lot of things to bring home and tell your friends and family about. That's really at its core what the it factor is. I gave the it factor an 8 out of 10. And that was the Ritz-Carlton here in Hong Kong and the end of our tower climb. I definitely recommend to stay here, although there may be even stronger options in the city of Hong Kong that I have on my channel. If you add all of the scores together throughout this review, I gave the Ritz-Carlton Hong Kong a 37.5 out of 50. Unfortunately, it is time to check out. Thanks so much for watching. I'm Ryan Walker, and we'll see you on the next one.